Literally, debut. It's got to be when she plays Caitlin Clark. So they obviously ended up debuting at All-Star Weekend because Caitlin didn't play when they were in Chicago, and Caitlin didn't play, or Caitlin's not playing in this game, so they're debuting at All-Star Weekend. The plan was to literally go and use Caitlin Clark for the launch of it. And I'm like,
Angel Reese stepped into the spotlight with the confidence of someone expecting a red carpet welcome, only to find that the carpet had already been rolled up and packed away, along with the remnants of a failed marketing campaign. What makes it all the more striking is that she genuinely seemed to believe she could recreate the same kind of magic Caitlin Clark generates so naturally. But instead of relying on talent or authentic appeal, Reese appeared to be banking on her proximity to greatness, hoping that simply being near the spotlight would make it hers.
We shall never know peace, at least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out, and I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places, but because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to raise some eyebrows.
Jack said, the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game was meant to be Angel Reese's big moment. She had everything carefully planned, launching her signature Reebok shoe, rolling out her I'm in Your City campaign, right in Caitlin Clark's hometown of Indianapolis, and soaking in what she imagined would be record-breaking viewership and soaring shoe sales. But instead of a victory, Reese was handed a hard lesson in reality. You can't manufacture star power, and building an entire marketing strategy around someone else's spotlight is a formula for failure.
Angel, me bound, pray up, Reese. You only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious CC. You want to pull up with your Billboard Reebok ad in Indiana talking about you in her trap. Man, stop it. You out of there. You hear me? My precious CC don't be in no trap. Real talk. You hear me? At the end of the day, she don't do those type of things. Yes. You hear me? Don't put that with her name at the end of the day. If you be in a trap, that's your business. You hear me? Whatever the case may be, that ain't nothing to be proud.
CHATGPT said, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Angel Reese's signature shoe with Reebok. The Angel Reese one, released into colorways Diamond Dust and My Bounce, was marketed as the next big thing in women's basketball. Footwear, Reebok and Reese put significant weight behind the launch, aligning the My Bounce release with the WNBA All-Star Game for maximum visibility. But here's the catch. The spotlight hit at exactly the wrong moment, instead of elevating the brand. The timing only highlighted the disconnect between hype and actual demand.
It's one of those things where it's like it's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk whatever rivalry there is. Whatever rivalry there is, it is one side trying to do everything they can to keep it together, because that is where they're going to be at their most relevant.
Reese built her entire marketing strategy on one critical miscalculation: that Caitlin Clark's presence at the All-Star Game would automatically drive massive viewership, which would, in turn, boost her own shoe sales. She bet everything on the idea that simply sharing the stage with Clark would be enough. But instead of carving out her own compelling narrative or striving to outshine through performance, Reese seemed to believe that just being in the same arena when Clark was expected to dominate would be enough to carry her brand. It wasn't.
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint, it's been
Here's where the twist gets especially ironic. Caitlin Clark got injured. A groin strain just days before the All-Star Game sidelined the league's biggest attraction. The very player whose presence could turn an ordinary Tuesday night game in Wisconsin into must-see television was now sitting on the bench in street clothes. With Clark out, the spotlight Reese had hoped to share or capitalize on dim significantly, leaving a glaring hole in the carefully orchestrated marketing plan.
So the WNBA's All-Star Game went down 36%. That is a lot. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people, and it went down to 2.1. Now, you could say is a success. Yeah, for women's sport, that is still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going. And you only can draw that. So, and this is with all the stars. Remember, guys.
Asterisk if you're enjoying this. Don't forget to subscribe because the numbers don't lie. And they paint a picture more brutal than any scripted drama. The 2020 for WNBA All-Star Game, featuring Caitlin Clark, drew a record-shattering 3-point for a million viewers. It wasn't just a game, it was a cultural moment. The kind people couldn't stop talking about it for days. Fast forward to 2025, and the story changed dramatically, with Clark sidelined due to injury. Viewership for the All-Star Game plummeted to 0.19 million, a staggering 36% drop. But here's the kicker. That drop didn't just happen anywhere, it happened in Clark, Esso hometown, at an event designed specifically to harness her star power.
But the WNBA All-Star Game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. F-A-F-O. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up and you need to have a talk with your players in the league.
Asterisk Angel Reese watched her marketing strategy unravel in real time. Tickets that were once expected to be hot commodities lost nearly half their value. The moment Caitlin Clark was ruled out, plunging from $121 to just $64, a 48% drop. Not even. The secondary market could salvage the situation. Fans simply weren't willing to pay premium prices for an all-star game. That didn't feature the league's biggest drop, and nothing highlighted the tone-deaf nature of Reese's campaign, more than her I'm in your city rollout. The boldness was almost surreal launching a territorial takeover in Indianapolis, Clark's actual hometown, while Clark was sidelined with an injury and unable to play.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing.
Asterisk, the campaign was aggressive billboards, social media pushes, and messaging all aimed at projecting territorial dominance. Angel Reese even shared Instagram videos captioned, "I'm in your city," accompanied by promotional content titled, "Walk in your trap, take over your trap." But the strategy quickly backfired, trying to take over someone's city, especially when that someone, Caitlin Clark, was injured and unable to play game off was opportunistic and, frankly, desperate. Fans immediately saw through it. Social media lit up with criticism, with one user tweeting, "She can't even promote her own shoe without using Caitlin Clark," and another sarcastically noting, "There are more photographers than fans." Lol. The whole campaign felt like an empty victory akin to showing up for a race after your main conflict. Etor's pulled out, and then celebrating as if you were in the win.
You can barely dribble. You miss layups on purpose, and they record them as me-bounds, rebounds. You be stat padding. You don't elevate your players. You went to a stacked LSU team. You hear me? My precious CC owns you. You want to know the record? She is 5-2 against you. You beat her in college one time. That championship. But what happened to the year after that? She sent you home. You hear me? And waved to your coach. You hear me? At the end of the day.
Asterisk, let's put things into perspective. Angel Reese had everything lined up for a breakout weekend in Indianapolis. She was positioned as the star, with her signature Reebok shoe launching, bold billboards plastered across the city, and a heavy social media presence declaring a symbolic takeover. The All-Star Game was even being played in what she dubbed her city for the weekend, and yet nobody seemed to care. The WNBA tried to spin the numbers by comparing 2025 viewership to 2023's 850. 0 viewers, conveniently skipping over the 2020 for Caitlin Clark driven record. But the public saw right through the PR move. The message was loud and clear. Without Clark, the league had fallen back to pre-phenomenon interest levels, even more telling. The Friday night 3-point contest and skills challenge pulled in one. 32 million viewers, a 90% increase from the previous year. But that surge wasn't because of Angel Reese or anyone else on the roster. It was still the lingering Caitlin Clark effect fans tuning, hoping for even a glimpse of the superstar who had redefined women's basketball.
Fans sent a blatant message, a shot across thou bow. All right, and your ship Well, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly. It's real ugly. Who is it?
Asterisk Angel Reese's fundamental miscalculation wasn't just about timing, it was about misunderstanding. What truly drives consumer interest? She looked at Caitlin Clark's wildly successful shoe deals and thought, I can do that too. She saw Clark's Nike Kobe 5 Pro sell out in minutes, with resale prices soaring to $600 for a $190 shoe, and assumed the same would happen to her. But here's what she missed. Clark's shoes don't sell just because her name is on them, they sell because she's built a genuine connection with fans through her on-court brilliance, relatable personality, and undeniable authenticity. When Clark signed her 8-year, $28 million Nike deal, it wasn't just about the money, it was a brand investment in a once-in-a-generation talent who actually moves the needle. Industry insiders estimate that Clark's upcoming signature shoe, set to launch in 2026, could become a $100 to $150 million business. That projection isn't hype, it's based on real, measurable demand, sold-out arenas, record-breaking TV numbers, and an engaged, passionate fan base. In contrast, Reese's shoe launch during All-Star Weekend landed with a thud. The Angel Reese one was revealed to a largely indifferent audience, pushed through a campaign that came off more desperate than confident.